Hello, people of YouTube. Welcome to Inferno Remastered. Now, people who've heard of me before has probably seen my maps played by Rage on his channel, on Rage Gaming. This is my first video I'm uploading. Now, I have a confession to make already. This map I did record once already. I have already actually built this map, but the recording messed up. As it's my first recording, I set the frame rate far too high, and it just completely failed to render at all. So I'm going to have to build it a second time. So it means it's going to be less boring because the bits where I'm sat debating what to do to make traps and so forth won't be there because I know what I'm building. Most of my maps I build are just on the fly. I don't really have any ideas. Rage gives a genre for the week, and I just start a new chamber and see how I get along. By the way, I will leave a link in the notations to the maps, so if you do want to play through my maps, you can do so. Alright, so we shall get started. Now, this week's theme is not to push E when in Portal, so you can't pick up stuff, so we can't use cubes. I have a plan to use some turrets, but he can't be able to pick them up, and also using pressure plates. Now, the first thing I do with my maps is we get rid of all the portable surfaces, because if you leave them on, going through at the end, changing what you want to be portable and not portable is just a pain. Oh, there we go, missed one there. Portable surface. Right. Now, first thing I need to do is give me some more space. Right, if I remember rightly, I had my first hazard to get over was just some water, and now I'm going to put one portable surface here, and you'll see why that is later. This is one of the traps he may fall for, possibly not, but I highlighted it quite well for Rage to notice this portable surface with some lights. Basically, at the end of the map, there's going to be another portable surface, and if he chooses to portal through it, it's just going to reset him right back to the beginning through that portal, which for most people would be quite funny. I do like to reset Rage. Right, the first one was I was using some pressure plates, and it was 3 to be exact. I think this chamber is one block bigger than I initially had, and these pressure plates were connected to raising platforms. That's right, so we had multiples of these. Like so. Now, the idea I've come up with for the pressure plates is obviously when you step on them and they get released, nothing's going to stay turned on. Unlike a button, buttons you push, something can stay turned on constantly. So with the B mod, you have your trigger inputs, and I can put these on a button, so Range will assume a pressure plate. He'll assume it's a pressure plate, and instead of just it being turned on whilst he's stood on there, it will stay permanently on. So basically, instead of the input to activate something coming from the plate, it will come from the trigger device. So one of these bridges will turn on. So when I connect these up, we will have the pressure plate will connect to these, which will lift from the water. Now, one of them is going to be connected just to the plates as the pressure plate, so as he steps on, he goes to go across the bridge, he steps off, can't get across. One of the other ones, I haven't decided yet, you'll find out when watching the game. I don't want to give away what I put and where, because Rage is a bit predictable. I know which way he likes to go, so I'm not going to give away where I like to put what and where. One of these pressure plates is going to set off. I've been a bit mean in this map. I've killed him very quickly. I haven't set this. Now, I do hide my laser beams so he can't see where they are. but I'm not going to hide them in my tutorial, just because other map makers will steal my idea. Right, so that needs to start active. So one of these plates is going to kill Rage, the other is just going to annoy him by putting up a bridge that he can't walk across, the third is going to allow him to have the bridge will come up and stay with the I'll just put it there for now, with the trigger once button, so he will then be able to get across. Now the second part of my map, I have gone with a similar theme here. More pressure plates. I think these I had right back here. Apologies if this isn't exactly how the map panned out, but I'm going just from memory here. Now, this actually took me some while to think. Sometimes when I'm building, I'll come up with one idea and just think it's dreadful and delete it and put something else in its place. So this I actually originally started off with a turret coming up on a bridge from the ground to shoot you. However, the 90% of the time, the turret would fall over on activation and just be no use whatsoever. And I had to find a way of, I had it too close, so it was able to pick up the turret, which we don't want. So you have to hit E to pick up the turret, which we don't want Rage doing. Else he may disqualify my map, which we don't want that to happen. So what I did is I placed a laser beam. It was about here. Oh, it needs to be a killer beam. Actually, this started turned on. Behind that was a beam bridge. Behind that was 3 turrets. All facing this way. Right, now the idea to this puzzle would be the pressure plates. One pressure plate would deactivate the beam bridge, allowing the turrets to shoot you. I actually had one pressure plate turned it off permanently. A second one just turned it off temporarily, so he could kind of save himself if he was to jump off. And a third pressure plate would deactivate both. No, the third pressure plate would deactivate the. One of these pressure plates would deactivate the laser beam and the beam bridge at the same time, which would also at the same time kill the bots with lasers, which I set up like so. I wanted them all to die. I didn't want it to take time killing them, so I actually set up 3 lasers. I set up one on the ceiling to kill this third one in the middle, because if he doesn't stand on the pressure plate long enough, it wouldn't kill them all. And he might run up and push E to pick one up, which, like I said, we do not want to happen. So it's not in this order, but for one would turn just the beam bridge off, so he would get killed. A second one would temporarily turn the beam bridge off, so I actually hold on, the one that permanently would turn off the laser would have to have a trigger once. And yes, the second one would just temporarily turn the beam bridge off. The third, what does my third one do? My third one killed. No, that was it. The third one turned off the beam bridge and the laser, not giving you enough time to get to the bots before they would kill you. And the fourth one would kill the bots, so he could quickly go from the third to the fourth, so he doesn't get killed by the bots. But it's easier to find the fourth, which one kills the bots first, and then deactivate the lasers and the beam bridge. Right, then I believe I set a ledge with some. Oops, that was a fail. With some. What are these faith plates on to send them further? I think I had quite a couple of faith plates here. I think it was that amount. I had quite a lot of faith plates. I have one on the wall to send him back to the beginning. Now, the only downside to sending Rage back to the beginning is once he's solved these two puzzles, it's just more there to frustrate him. But he's not going to have to solve the puzzles again. I've tried to figure out ways of resetting these puzzles, so once he gets back to the beginning, he'd have to choose the correct options again. But once he knows the correct options, he'd get there fairly quickly. So I decided just let's have these in there. So one of these is just going to send him backwards. Another one just to be annoying. I had on the other side here. Now I do have a lot just to frustrate Rage. I have a lot of multi-choice parts of my map, but I do like to set some puzzles as well. So I have set a puzzle here on the next part of the map. Firstly, there was one last annoyance for Rage. Was one of these was going to just send him through some death lasers, which he can't see yet, and another one I actually lowered and put a trigger in place, so when you went through the trigger it turned the lasers off, so you could proceed with the map. So there's all sorts of stuff going on with the faith plates. Now once he got across, we had a nice puzzle set up, and you can't interact with the puzzle with buttons or pick up cubes, so I wanted to have a cube or a ball of some sort that would allow you to interact. Now you may have seen from a previous chamber where we could not move, had to stay still in the middle of the map, that I've had a similar puzzle previously to this, and so I'm going to change the cube to a spear so it can bounce around. Now first of all, the spear is just going to drop into the water and constantly repeatedly die. So we're going to set up a plate on the wall. Now I believe I had multiple plates. Because you can't interact with stuff, I have gone a bit button mad. Right. I need to remember how I made my puzzle. Firstly, the exit. Well, the exit wasn't there, but the map continues. That way there's a door there for him to continue, which I should put in a minute. Now, the whole point of this is to get the ball to the button, which I think firstly... Oops. I think I had... That's right. Right. Right, so, only because it took me quite some time to figure this puzzle out, it's only because I've built it once already, and I know how it all goes. I had one more on here, there's a reason for this, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so firstly he needs to stop the ball from dropping into the water to jump to the faith plate. Faith plate? I mean, yeah, well, that's right, faith plate. And the faith plate is going to bounce the ball onwards, but there's going to be a light bridge in the way, so these buttons are all going to activate something individually throughout the map. So this one, for example, could deactivate the... this was going to start not deployed, so it needs to deploy. One of these buttons will deploy the ramp to tap it onto here. You'll then need to jump onto another button to deactivate the light bridge, so the ball can continue through to here. And here we are going to have some steps and another faith plate. That's not right. This was all further back. Because these were here. It's good to have some OCD, otherwise to make everything identical. Otherwise, that's too close so you can jump over. Otherwise, maps don't work. I always test my maps. I always play my maps all the way through to make sure they work. So again, on its way bouncing back to this compartment, this is going to need to go deactivate the light bridge again. Otherwise, it's not going to be successful. This is going to start enabled. Now we need to keep the ball in place on this ramp, so it's going to move across to the ramp. He's going to need to activate the ramp, so it will roll down the ramp onto the other faceplate, through the beam bridge, and onto the platform up here. Now, to keep it in place, I need to put some glass in place. I think I made this too high. Right, so we had some glass just to hold the ball in place so it doesn't rattle around. It moves down to the faceplate. That sends it across to this platform, and again I needed to hold the ball in place on that platform. So again we're going to use some glass. Where's the glass gone? I think we're about there. Is that right? No, miles off. So we'll try and error. There we go. It's a bit longer than it needs to be, but that'll do. This is I've already made. And a second piece. Over you go. Okay, and finally, oh, this piece makes no sense. Shift plus that. Used, where have they gone? The other platforms. Use. To start there, and push forwards to there. Now, so this is basically the ball's going to get trapped in here, and these are going to push the ball onto a button down here, which is going to open the door for Rage to continue. So once he solves this puzzle, I've played this puzzle through, I know it works, I've done it countless times, just to get to the second half of my map to test that. So Rage only goes through my map once, but you think how frustrated he gets. I play my map through about 4 or 5 times, just to make sure that everything works and try to find any glitches. Some people did notice there was a slight glitch in my map from last week when the laser beam did shine down to the floor, so that it was possible. There was a beam bridge in front of Rage, so we couldn't get to that, but there was a way around that beam bridge, I realised. Oh dear. But I have adjusted that, so if you play the map through again now, that's not going to happen. Right, so once the ball's landed in here, these will both be activated at the same time with a button which shall move both bridges towards this button to drop the ball down onto there. And again, I need some glass to hold the ball in place so it does not roll off the button. Now, also, just to be annoying, one of these buttons that you step on whilst doing this whole task is going to be connected to the ball, so it shall reset the ball. So it could be halfway through it. If he steps on that plate, it is going to reset it all, and he will have to start the whole puzzle again. Why am I not moving that? There we go. So once he gets the ball onto this button here, has to take some trip around. It shall open the door for the Rage to continue. Let's place the door in place. There we are. Now, this bit is quite complicated, so I can't remember exactly how I laid this out. What happens in here? Right, there was a new trap for Rage. I usually kill him with lasers. I'm not going to show you it, so I'm just going to put a corridor in. But simply not to give away. This one's, I just wanted to change up from the lasers. Something different, which you'll have to find out what that is when you see Rage play. Well, by the time you watch this, you would probably have already seen Rage play, because I'll be launching my maps every week on the Monday, the day after Rage has played the map, just not to give away uh, how to complete the map in case he decides to view my channel. But there's going to be a trap in here, and he needs to. This will be hidden. He needs to avoid the trap and come back, much like the ending of my map last week. Which took him quite a while to realise that he just needs to go back a couple of steps to find the correct route. But yes, we have a trap set up in here, just for frustration's sakes. And this led on into the next chamber, which I can't remember how long I made it. Oh dear. I need to make this taller. I love it when I do that. Turn these portable surfaces off. Oh. And another portable surface over here. No, in my luck, the ceiling will be portable. No, it's not. Okay, now in this corridor, if Rage decides to rush this, he'll get killed. I basically kind of had an invisible laser maze, so I basically set up a number of killer lasers. Let's turn this to our laser. And it looked something like... Oh dear. Something like this. Laser that way. This took quite some time. See, yeah, because there's glitches like this. There we go. And this went through all the way to the end, and I had all sorts of trigger inputs along here, turning off and on the lasers. Basically, there is one correct route through this, going from square to square to square. Eventually, he'll get to the end. So if he rushes, because the lasers started deactivated, so it looks like it's just a there's one laser on when he first enters. So when he first enters, you can see from one end to the other, and there's no lasers activated at all. However, he will need to choose the correct route, because as he walks through, lasers will turn on to block him from continuing. He'll then need to move to another square to deactivate the laser. I had so many trigger inputs. This is actually, because if you just take your time, it's not going to kill you. If you try to rush, there's only really one route through it. It's just slowly taking your time to get through it. If you decide, you can decide to go back. If you do, you're just gonna end up having to loop around. Knowing Rage, he'll probably end up doing a loop at least twice. But eventually, you get to the end of the laser maze, which I'm not going to fully build, because it's just going to look like little square blocks in the end with lots of lasers. I had to take the door off here. I did have a door on the end here. I started running out of, because I had so many trigger inputs, started running out of things I could position in this map. So instead of having a door and a corridor, I had to place some, it wasn't windows, but I changed it to, oh. Like so. Wrong way again. Very good at doing that today. Right, now actually on here, let's just change it. Battery type. I actually changed this corridor onto the next section. The whole ground I made portable. Now, if he decides to make a portal on here and drop down through it, if he has made a portal on the first portal at the beginning, it's just going to send him right back to the beginning, which I think would be quite funny to watch. I know Rage, he'll probably just spam some portals, but I doubt it's going to work. But if it does work, that would be quite funny to watch. Right, nearly at the end of my map. This is actually one of my shorter maps, simply uh, because oh dear, I spent so many trigger inputs on my laser maze, which I think he's going to get through quite quickly. Um, I just didn't have enough to make anything else. So I'm hoping the puzzle's going to hold him up. I don't set him back too much in this map because there's only one, two, three, four. There's only about 5 puzzles, and the little puzzle which I'm not going to give away. Uh, Once he passes the first puzzle, the killer puzzle. Let me put a door back there. So now this first puzzle he'll enter, he will not be able to get through. So it's going to send him on through the laser maze. He's going to finish the laser maze, and the exit is, at first, it is hidden. Let's move that. At first, this is hidden. He cannot move towards this door until he moves up this corridor, and he has to simply just pass into this chamber. He can then turn around and walk out. But if you choose to continue the same trap, may kill him again. I think the door does close behind him if he goes too far. So he ends up having to loop all the way around through the laser maze again. This door will be open, so he can end up just walking back into the first part of the maze. Once he gets so far, if he looks behind him, he'll see the exit, and he'll be able to finish the chamber. So this is my submission for range this week. I hope you guys enjoy watching him play this. I hope I didn't break him as much as I did last week. I think a lot of people agree. Yeah, I think I was a bit harsh on him last week, so I haven't been so harsh on him this week. So, for the few people I have, please, I have subscribed to my channel. Please like, favorite, and share. Please tell your friends. I plan on doing some more. I plan to do some builds on Minecraft, some Let's Plays. I haven't decided on what yet. If you guys have any ideas on what you would like me to play, give me some suggestions in the comments below. That would be great. I think that's about it for my first video. I hope you enjoyed. I shall see you again soon. If so, at least this time next week. Once I have enough subscribers, I do hope to also do some tournaments. At the moment, the game I love is, in fact, something like Rome Total War. Just watching two big armies collide together in a game. I just that thrills me. I just love that. I would love to have a Rome Total War tournament, as there is a new Rome Total War coming out soon. I also love my Second World War games, so I love Company of Heroes. Again, there is a new Company of Heroes coming out soon, so I would love to do some tournaments. If you like those games, let me know. If you have some ideas for some other games, also let me know. So, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy.